clause? Okay, is it visible on your device, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, reduce clause. Okay, in meeting 2, maybe during the meeting Zoom, we talk about adjective clause, but there are some other 2 kind of subclauses. It is adverb clause and noun clause. So everybody, please check once again. Check meeting 2. It is a basic idea of English clauses. So in general, clause is divided into 2. Let me explain a bit about clauses. So as you know, clause is a group of related words containing subject and verb. And in general, clause is divided into 2 kinds. Number 1 is, what is it? Main clause. Sorry. Main clause, and the other one is subclause. So this one is, number 1 is main clause. It is a clause that can stand alone by itself. And the second one is subclause. It is a clause that cannot stand alone by itself. So it must be combined with main clause in order to have a complete thought, to be independent. And this subclause is further divided into 3 kinds. Okay, number 1 is adjective clause. Number 2 is adverb clause. Number 3 is noun clause. Okay, so this is what we discussed in meeting 2. Okay, maybe during that meeting we discussed about the adjective clause. And please, I've already add some additional materials and activities, exercise for adverb clause and noun clause. So to make you easy to remember what this its subclauses is. So adjective clause is a clause that functions like adjective to describe a noun, while adverb clause is a clause that functions like an adverb. Yeah, functions like an adverb. And the last one, noun clause, is a clause that functions like a noun to be the subject or object of a sentence. Okay, and next, after we discuss this kind of subclauses, we talk about reduced clause. Yeah, reduced clause. It is clause containing subject and verb that has been reduced. So the element of this clause is removed, so that it is no longer a clause, but it becomes a phrase, everybody. So reducing a clause to phrase. So that's the idea of reduced clause. Reducing a clause to a phrase, changing a clause to a phrase. A clause can be reduced to a phrase. You can make a clause to a phrase. Okay, so this is the idea of a clause once again. So every clause must have subject and verb as predicate. A phrase only group of related words, but it doesn't contain subject and verb as predicate. Okay, reducing a clause to phrase means changing a clause from subject and predicate to a phrase, no subject, no predicate. Now, what kind of clause that can be reduced into phrase? The first one, yeah, from adjective clause. The adjective clause can be reduced into adjective phrase. Yeah. The function is the same, to modify noun, and it doesn't contain subject and verb as predicate. And this is the example, everybody. The article containing the recent information on robotic technology is very interesting. You often find sentences containing phrases like this in text. Yeah, I'm sure about it. And later you can prove yourself by identifying sentence containing adjective phrase. Now, please pay attention to the underlined words here in the example, containing the recent information on robotic technology. this is adjective phrase. And this adjective phrase function to describe the article, to modify the article. As you know, the main subject of this sentence is the article. And actually, this adjective phrase also part of the subject. Okay, as we discussed about subject verb agreement, the subject is the article, the main subject, the essence is the word article, and the predicate of this sentence is. This is the predicate, not the word containing. Containing is not the predicate of the subject, the article. Because as you can see here, containing ends in ing, yeah. And remember, when a sentence starts with subject plus suddenly is verb ing, so it is not the predicate of the subject unless there is to be in front of or between subject and verb ing. Yeah, as you can see here, between the article and containing, there is no to be. So the word containing is not the predicate. Okay. Okay. Another word following to be is past participle. When you create a sentence subject to be past participle, it becomes passive. Okay. It's number one. Number two. Number three is noun. Don't forget, after to be, another possible word is noun. Next one is adjective. And the last one is adverb. Okay, so later it has something to do with what we discussed. So please keep in mind, when there is subject to be, the next word must be one of these 5 words. The first one is verb ing, past participle, noun, adjective, adverb. So once again, everyone, when there is no to be between the subject and verb ing, the verb ing is not the predicate. Okay, so far, is it clear to you, everybody? All right, now let's continue. How to change adjective clause into adjective phrase? There are 2 ways. The easier way is please check whether there is to be or not in the adjective clause. Yeah, check whether there is to be or not in the adjective clause. When there is to be in the adjective clause, the next way, the next step is to delete the subject pronoun. As you know, the subject pronoun in adjective clause is who, with, that. There are 3 words as subject pronoun in the adjective clause. And this subject pronoun, of course, as the subject, it starts the adjective clause. And the next step is to delete to be. And you just keep the next word after to be. Okay, so that is the first way. And the second way, if there is no to be in the adjective clause, if there is no to be, you just delete the subject pronoun who, with, that. You remove them and change the verb into ing form. Okay, now let's see one by one. If there is to be in the adjective clause. Now, everybody, please show me which is the adjective clause from this sentence.
Who is talking, sir?
Once again,
Who is talking?
Who is talking to her? Okay, excellent. Thank you, Muhammad. So the adjective clause is who is talking to her. This is the adjective clause. Now just pay attention to this adjective clause, everyone. What is the subject in this adjective clause? Who is the subject? What is the predicate? Is talking. Okay. So here in the adjective clause, there is to be. What you do is only delete to be and subject pronoun. And what you get is the man talking to her is from Mary. Okay. So you did who is. This is the adjective pronoun. It is pronoun, adjective pronoun. Adjective phrase, sorry everybody. It is adjective phrase. Why phrase? Because there is no subject and predicate anymore. Why it is adjective? Because the function is to describe noun, the man. Okay, everyone, is it clear to you?
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now let's continue to another sentence. Now, once again, please show me which is the adjective clause from sentence B.
Which are presented.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Rano. So, which are presented in that book? Okay, so this is the adjective clause. Then, is there any to be? Yes, of course, are. Then what you do, you delete to be. And of course, you delete subject pronoun which. And what you get is the ideas presented in that book are very interesting. Which is the adjective phrase presented in that book. Okay, what is the function to describe the ideas? Okay, so this is adjective phrase from adjective clause which are presented in that book. Okay, it is adjective because to describe noun. Okay, everybody, is it clear to you? Okay, next. Which is the adjective clause, everyone?
Who is responsible for the conference, Mr.
Excellent, Tariq, thank you. Who is responsible for the conference? This is adjective clause. And how to make adjective phrase? You just remove subject pronoun and to be. And what you get is the man who is responsible, the man responsible for the conference is Mr. John. And next one. The books that are on the shelf are mine. Which is the adjective clause, anyone?
That are on the shelf.
Excellent. That are on the shelf. And how can you reduce it into phrase? You remove subject pronoun that and to be. So what you get is the books on the shelf are mine. Okay, everybody. So this is the way how you reduce clause into phrase. And as you can see here, for the phrases, everyone, or the clause, okay. So as I explained in the previous slides, so just pay attention to this one. This is subject, and there is to be. The next word is verb A. Okay. In sentence B, which are presented in that book, okay, which is the subject? There is to be. And the next word is past participle, verb 3. Okay. Then what you get is only verb 3. And this one, subject to be, the next word is adjective, everyone. Okay, adjective. So what do you get here? After the man directly to responsible, Okay, so this is noun, this is adjective. And when you find this construction like this one, the man responsible, so actually there is something missing. Who is? Okay, the next, pay attention to this one. This is subject and this is to be, and on the staff is adverb. Okay, when suddenly you find a sentence, this is noun and this is adverb. After noun directly followed by adverb on the staff or any other adverbs, there must be something missing here between this noun and adverb. What is it? Subject, pronoun, and to be. Okay, is it clear to you, everybody? Now let's continue to exercise. Change the adjective clause to adjective phrase. Now, anybody, please. If you want to share your idea, please. Yes. Naufal, is it Naufal or?
Do you know the woman coming toward us?
Do you know the woman coming toward us? What is missing here, Naufal?
Who is?
Who is? Okay, that's correct. Next, anyone, please. Yes, Aziza.
The scientists researching the effects of global warming are making progress.
Okay, what do you delete from the sentence, Aziza?
Who are?
Who are? Okay, good. Thank you very much. That's correct. Now, Aziza, let me check once again. What is the subject of this sentence after you remove who are?
Who?
No, after you remove who are.
Oh,
Okay,
the scientists.
the scientist is the subject. What is the predicate?
Researching. Oh, making.
Researching or are making?
Are making.
Are making. So what is researching the effect of global warming? What do you call it?
Adjective clause.
Adjective clause? No subject, no predicate. Researching the effect of global warming. There's no subject predicate here. Hello, Aziza. What do you call everybody? Researching the effect of global warming? Aziza.
Predicate.
Adjective phrase. What is the function of this adjective phrase?
To modify the scientist.
Scientist. Okay, very good, everyone. Okay, now you know it. Next, number 3. Anybody, please. Yes, Faradia.
The fence in the front of our house is made of wood.
Okay, the fence in the front of our house is made of wood. So you remove whiches. Okay, Farah, what is the subject? The subject of the sentence?
The fence.
The fence. Okay, the fence. What is the predicate?
Is there any predicate?
Yes, it is a sentence, so it must have predicate. The predicate is made. It's made of. Okay. Next. Next number 4, everybody. Yes. Is it Sakif?
They live in a house was built in 1890.
They live in a house built in 1890. So what do you delete?
That
Only that?
was.
That was. Kunci kamar belakang. Di bawah taplak meja. TV dulu. Hello, sorry. Okay, so you did that was. Okay, what is the adjective phrase, Sakif?
House.
No, no. Hello. Which is the adjective phrase?
That was.
No, that was has been removed. Okay,
House
it's already
built.
gone. What is the adjective phrase?
House built.
No, not doesn't include house. They live in a house. It's another. It's a it's a main clause. Okay, so the adjective phrase is built in 1890. This is the adjective phrase from adjective clause. This one, because you have already removed this part. The rest will be the adjective phrase. Sakif, is it clear to you?
Yes.
And what is the function of built in 1890?
Explain when a house is built.
Okay, to explain the house. Yeah, correct. To explain the house when it was built. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Sakif. Now, everybody, number 5. Yes, Alexander.
Dr. Ron, the president of the college, will give a welcome speech.
Okay, thank you, Alexander. So you remove who is. Okay, Alexander, what is the subject of this sentence?
Dr. Ron.
And the predicate?
Will give.
Okay, which is the adjective phrase?
The president of the college.
What is the function?
To give information about Dr. Ron.
Yes. Okay, everybody. And maybe in the TOEFL, if you learn the TOEFL, because it is noun phrase, the president of the college, sometimes it is called appositive. Yeah, it is a noun which describe another noun. Yeah, but describing a noun, actually, that's the work of an adjective. Okay, everyone, so these are the exercise or the problems for the exercise. They're choosing adjective phrase from adjective clause to adjective phrase with to be. The next one is if there is no to be form of a verb in the adjective clause, no to be in the adjective clause. Example, English has an alphabet that consists of 26 letters. Which is the adjective clause, everybody?
That consists.
Okay. It's better you continue until the end. That consists of 26 letters. Okay, thank you. This is the adjective clause. What is the subject pronoun here? This is clause, adjective clause. What is the subject? That. Correct. And the predicate consists. Okay, no to be. So what you do is you remove subject pronoun and you change the verb into ing, the verb ing. So what you get is English has an alphabet consisting of 26 letters. Okay, so here is the adjective phrase. What is the function to describe noun, the alphabet? Okay, next. Anyone who joins us is welcome. Which is the adjective clause?
Who join us?
Who joins us? Excellent. What is the subject? Who. What is the predicate?
Join.
Joins. And how to change it into adjective phrase? You remove who and you change joins to be joining. What you get is anyone joining us is welcome. So this is the adjective phrase. What is the function to describe anyone? Anyone is welcome. Who is anyone here? Anyone joining us? Anyone who joins us. Okay, so everybody, if you use who, yeah, it can be, because this is subject, and the next one must be verb. Yeah, verb 1 or maybe verb 2. No problem. When you reduce it into phrase, it becomes verb ing. What about this one? The student whom the teacher assigned the homework were always late, which is the adjective clause. Anyone?
The teacher assigned.
Whom the teacher assigned the homework. This is the adjective clause. And how can you reduce it into adjective phrase? The answer is no, you can't reduce it into adjective phrase. Why? Because there is no subject pronoun. Remember, subject pronoun are 3, who, with, that. Here, what you get is, what you see is whom. Whom is not subject pronoun. And what is the subject? The teacher. Or the predicate, assigned. So you can't reduce it into phrase anyone. It's clause, yes, correct. Yeah. You don't need to reduce it into phrase. Just write it like this. You can reduce whom, or you can delete whom in this case, no problem. Yeah. You may reduce whom without mentioning whom is no problem. And you still get subject and verb here as clause, as adjective clause. Yeah. So the students, the teacher assigned the homework will always late. No problem. And it must be very much clearer if you use whom. The students whom the teacher assigned the homework were always late. Okay. Is it clear to you, everybody? Anyone? Okay. Now let's continue to the exercise. Change the adjective clause into adjective phrase. Anybody, please? Yes, Gabriel.
The psychologists studying the nature of sleep have made important discoveries.
Okay, thank you, Gabriel. So what you do with the sentence is removing who, isn't it? Okay, and you change study become studying. Okay, like this one. Now, Gabriel, what is the subject of the sentence?
The psychologists studying the nature of sleep.
Okay, well, actually, these are all the subject. That's correct. And you pay attention on this noun as the main subject. Okay. And what is the predicate? Of course, it's not studying, but have made. This is the predicate. Okay. Very good. Thank you so much. Next. Yes, Najma Ulia.
Picture that showing at the picture showing the brutality of what entered the living room of TV watchers.
Yes. You remove that and it become showing. Okay. So what is the subject of the
Picture.
sentence? Pictures. What is the predicate?
Enter.
Entered. Okay, thank you so much. What is the adjective phrase, Najma?
Showing the brutality
Of war.
of the war.
Yeah. What is the function, Najma?
To describe the picture.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, now let's continue to number 3. Muhammad Rafi.
Yes, sir. The students hoping to enter university must prepare themselves well.
Excellent. What is the subject, Rafi?
The subject is the students.
Predicate?
The predicate must prepare.
Yes. What is hoping to enter university?
It's adjective phrase.
What is the function?
Function to describe the students.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone. Next, number 4. Yes, number 4, everybody. Yes, Gabriel again.
We stay in a hotel overlooking the beach.
Excellent. Overlooking the beach. Okay. Overlooking the beach. What is the subject, Gabriel?
The subject is we.
Predicate?
Stay.
Stay. What is the adjective phrase?
Overlooking the beach.
And what is the function?
To give information about the hotel.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Gabriel. And number 5. Anyone else, please? Ihsan. Hello, Ihsan Widakto.
The children attending the school receive a good education.
Excellent. The children attending the school receive a good quality of education. And what is the subject, Ihsan?
The children.
And the predicate?
Attending.
Attending. Attending. Are you sure this is the predicate?
Receive.
Yeah. Okay, it's not the predicate. Okay. You know, when it is predicate, attending will be predicate when there is to be in front of it. When there is no to be, it is only explain the noun in front of it. Isan, are you following? Bisa diikuti ya, Isan? Sorry, I can't hear your voice. Even the microphone is moving. Yeah. Okay, so this is the subject. And this is only modifier of this main subject and this part of the subject. Yeah, the children attending the school is altogether is the subject, but the main word as the subject is the children. And this is the predicate of the subject. So that's why, everybody, the subject is not the school because there are two nouns here, okay? But the children, not the school. So that's why the subject and predicate must be in agreement. And like this one, the children attending the school has, you know, more than one noun. So it's a noun as the subject. Okay, so this is the problem of subject agreement. Okay, so everybody, do you understand it, or maybe you have a question about it? Is everything clear to you, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's continue to the next slide. All right, what is it? Now, please change the adjective phrase to adjective clause. Okay, in this case, you have to recognize the adjective phrase in the sentence, and you have to change it into adjective clause. What you do before this, you change from adjective clause into adjective phrase. Now this. Now in this exercise, you have to think the other way around, everyone. Yeah, from adjective phrase to adjective clause. Okay, let me give you a tip. In identifying the adjective phrase in a sentence, first of all, please make sure you know noun. And after this noun, the next must be one of these 5 words, as I explained before. The first one is verb A. Next one is past participle. Next one is noun. Next one is adjective. Next one is adverb. And after this one, the next might be another verb. Yeah, as predicate. But sometimes there is no verb because this is the object, for example. Noun is at the end of a sentence. So of course there is no verb. But when the noun works as the subject, for example, the next one must be verb as the predicate of the subject. Okay, now try to focus on this. Noun, verb ing, noun, verb 3, noun, adjective, noun, adverb. If you find this order, there must be something missing between noun, this, and these 5 words. There is something missing between. What is missing here? The missing part is who, which, that, plus to be. Yeah, plus to be. Okay, so this is the missing part that you have to provide in this exercise. And another possible pattern when it is only verb ing, everyone. When it is verb ing, there are 2 possibilities. Number 1 is this one. And number 2 is who, which, that, plus verb 1 or verb 2. Okay, so if there is verb ing, once again, only verb ing, there are 2 possibilities, who, which, that, plus to be, or just who, which, that, then verb 1 or verb 2. That is the missing part between noun and verb. Okay, everyone. Now let's begin with the first problem. Okay, first of all, please try to identify the noun first. Next is what words following this noun, whether it is verb ing, verb 3, noun, adjective, or adverb. And after that, there must be something missing between these 2 words. All right, now let me make the first sentence clear to you to read. All right, everyone. So this is the sentence, this problem, and what is the noun and what another word after the noun? Can you identify the noun, everybody?
One of the
Yeah, Rano, once again, which one?
One of the agricultural products.
Products, yes, correct. You concentrate on this word as noun. This is the noun. And what word after the noun? Rano?
That is
Here, no, before you get the answer.
introduced. Yes.
Introduced. Okay, so here you find noun, products, and introduced. Okay, product introduced. Okay, there must be something missing here. And Rano just mentioned once again, Rano, what is the missing part?
That is.
That is. Okay, that is. The missing part is that is. That is. Okay, thank you very much, Rano, for your answer. So this is the missing part, but let me check once again. Okay, corn was one of the agricultural products that is introduced. Now, do you see any, what is like a mismatch with the time frame, everybody? The time here is indicated by the to be was. So it means that the time is in the past tense. Well, here is. So what do you think? Does it match?
Change to was.
Okay, it's not is but was, right? Okay. Next, the noun is products. Products, is it singular or plural?
Plural.
Plural. It is indicated by S. So when it is plural, does it match with was?
Were.
No, it's not was, but it is were. Okay, everyone? That is the correct answer. One of the agricultural products that were introduced to European settlers by the Indian. So these are the missing words from the sentence. Do you understand, everybody? No answer? Silence means yes. You understand it? Okay. Now, Rano especially. Rano? Hello?
Yes.
Now, is it possible to replace that with which?
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. That's correct. Is it possible to replace that with who?
No.
Why no?
Because it's an object.
Because?
It's an object.
Who?
Products is an object, not a person.
Okay,
Who
because
is only for person.
excellent, excellent. Okay, I know it. So product is not human, so that's why it is impossible to use who. Okay, the only possible subject pronoun to use is which and that. Okay, nice. Let's continue to number 2, everyone. Here in number 2, there are 2 places, yeah, 2 adjective phrase that you can change it into adjective clause. Okay, so first of all, please. Yes, Naufal.
You read the Old Man and the Sea, a novel is written by Ernest Hemingway.
So you suspect this one, novel return, yeah?
Which is?
And there is something missing here, yes? Is it what you think, Naufal?
Which is?
Yeah, I try to you know to describe the steps, yeah, the steps of your thinking. Okay, so novel return, and there must be something missing here. That's what you think, right, Novel?
Which and to be.
Yeah, I know it. Okay, before you get the answer, okay, the first thing you think is noun written. So there must be something missing here. Yes, that's what you are thinking, right?
Okay. So
And what is the missing part? You say which
to be is.
Which is. Thank you, Nova. Okay, everyone. That is the answer from Naufal, which is written by Ernest Hemingway. Okay, if you read a novel, it is the product, yeah? And before you read it, the novel is written by the author. When is the process of writing the novel? Is it in present or in the past?
In the past, sir.
In the past. So,
Which was.
Which was. It is more precise. Okay. Which was written by Ernest Hemingway. Okay, excellent. That's and
Thank you, sir.
okay. Another possible answer. Is it okay to replace which with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Is it okay to replace that which with who?
No.
No. Why no?
Because no clause, non-person.
Okay, that's correct. Excellent. So this is the answer. Okay, so this is the first place that you can make it into clause, everyone. By adding which was or that was, it becomes a clause. And there is another place in the sentence that you can. There is another place in the sentence that you can make it into clause. Yes, anyone? Which one? There is another place here. Okay, now he read, what is it? Something. Okay, the old man is the sea is something, the title. Okay, it is noun. And a novel is noun. And so there must be something missing between these two nouns. Yes, anyone? Abdullah? Yeah, Abdullah, once again, sorry, I can't hear your voice clearly. Oh, there's problem. Abdullah, yes? Oh, sorry, I'm not clearly understand what you are saying. There's internet problem, I guess. Yes, anyone? What is the missing part here?
Witches.
Which?
Witches.
Witches. Yeah, correct. Which is. Okay, which is a novel written by Ernest. He read The Old Man and the Sea, which is a novel which was written by Ernest Hemingway. Okay, everyone, if you say it, maybe it sounds weird. Yeah, he read The Old Man and the Sea, which is a novel which was written by Ernest Hemingway. But that is the clause form. And to make it simple and sounds natural, you reduce this clause into phrase, He read The Old Man and the Sea, a novel written by Ernest Hemingway. Okay, so now you know how to make this. Yeah, this is adjective phrase. This is another adjective phrase, everyone, and it is from Klaus, which is a novel, which was written by Ernest. Okay, is it clear to you, everybody? Okay, next, maybe you are wondering, is it possible for us to replace which with that? That is a novel written by Ernest Hemingway. Yeah, in this case, everybody, if you learn from the video in Unit 2, adjective clause, especially about restrictive, non-restrictive adjective clause. When there is comma, it becomes non-restrictive. And for the non-restrictive, you are not permitted to use that. Yeah, that is not used when it is non-restrictive. So please check the videos once again in meeting 2 about restrictive, non-restrictive adjective clause. The only relative pronoun you use is which for non-person. Yeah, what about whom? No problem. Yeah. Okay. So which is a novel written by Ernest Hemingway, no problem. He read The Old Man and the Sea, a novel which was written by Ernest Hemingway, no problem. So it is optional to use. Okay, I hope it's clear enough to you. Next, we come to number 3. Yes, anyone? This is number 3. Yes, Gabriel.
The sunlight, which is coming through the windows, wake me up early every morning.
Okay, thank you, Gabriel. So here, Gabriel's answer is which is. Okay, the sunlight which is coming through the window wakes me up early every morning. Is there any possible answer, Gabriel?
Maybe we can replace which with
What you can do, Gabriel?
the sunlight that is coming through the windows wake me up.
Okay, you replace which with that. Okay, that is. Is there another possible answer, Gabriel? Yes, that is. You may use which comes, or that comes. Okay, so which is more precise, which is coming, or which comes, or that comes. Yeah, so it depends on the time point of view. Yeah, so when it is which is coming through the window, so it is like progressive. It is continuous. Which comes, yeah, it is a general truth. Yeah, so it is more on simple present tense. Okay, so once again, structurally, you may use this one with to be or without to be when it is verb. But which one is better? Please check once again. Yeah, especially about when the action happened, as well as in what time, whether it expresses at the moment of speaking or not. Okay, right. Next one, it is number Number 4. Number 4, everyone. Yes, Faradia.
Mercury, which is the nearest planet to the Sun, is also the smallest of the 9 planets orbiting the Sun.
Yes, your answer, which is. Excellent. Precisely. Mercury, which is the nearest planet to the Sun, is also the smallest of the 9 planets orbiting the Sun. Yes, thank you, Faradia. Is it okay to replace which with that, Faradia?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So actually it's no. Why no? Because it is non-restrictive. For non-restrictive, which is indicated by comma, so you don't use that. Only which is permitted. Okay. All right. And next, there is another place that you can make it into clause from sentence number 4. Anybody can find it? Yes, Gabriel.
Mercury, which is the nearest planet to the Sun, also the smallest of the 9 planets, which orbit the Sun.
Yeah, okay. So here's the place, everyone. Planets, noun, suddenly orbiting. So there must be something missing here. What is it? Gabriel said. What is your answer, Gabriel?
Which orbit.
Which orbit? Okay, which orbit the Sun? Okay, Gabriel, that's correct. Can you replace which with that, Gabriel?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Which orbit? That orbit. Is it okay which is orbiting or which are orbiting? 9 planets which are orbiting?
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah. Structurally, yes, which are orbiting. But because it is general truth, yeah, it's better which orbit. Yeah. Structurally, which are orbiting, yes. But I think it's better which orbit instead of which are orbiting. Okay, thank you, Gabriel. Next, number 5. Yes. Surfinta, Gracetriana.
The pyramids, which are the monumental tombs of ancient Egyptian pharaohs, were constructed from 3000 to 1800 BC.
Okay, your answer is which are. Okay, you put it here. Is it correct, Surfinta? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's correct. And this is the only place you can make it into adjective clause. Yeah. Excellent, everyone. Okay. That is the exercise for the changing adjective clause to adjective phrase. Thank you so much. Now let's continue to another clause that can be reduced to a phrase. This is adverb clause, everyone. Adverb clause can be reduced into adverb phrase. Yeah. Some adverb clause may be changed to modifying phrase. Yeah, modifying phrase or adverb phrase in this case, because the function of this phrase is to modify. And the ways to change are the same as changing adjective clause to adjective phrase. Yeah, they are the same ways. Number 1, omit the subject of the dependent clause. In this case, is the adverb clause, and the to be. There is to be. And the second one, if there is no to be, you just omit the subject and change the verb into ing form. Okay, so basically you omit this to be when there is to be and the subject. Next one is you delete the subject and change the verb into ing form. This is the example. The adverb clause of the sentence is while I was walking to the class. Okay, remember adverb clause always start with subclause ordinator. Yeah, and the subject is I. This is the subject, and the predicate was walking. This is the predicate of the adverb clause. And since there is to be here, you remove was and subject. And what you get here, while walking to the class, I ran into an old friend. So this is the adverb phrase. While walking to the class, who walked to the class? I. Yeah. So while walking to the class, modifying I in this case as the subject, because the subject here is I. Okay. Next, before I left for work, I ate breakfast, which is the adverb clause. Of course, before I left for work. Is there to be here? No. So what you do, you remove subject and you change the verb into ing form. And what you get, before leaving for work, I ate breakfast. So this is the adverb phrase. Before leaving for work, who leave for work? I. Yeah. So this is adverb phrase, everyone, from adverb clause like this one. And here's another requirement to change adverb clause to adverb phrase. Yeah. The requirement is that all the subject in the adverb clause and the subject of the main clause are the same. When the subject of the two clauses are different, it's better you keep the clause as it is without reducing it into phrase. No problem. For example, here in sentence A, while I was sitting in class, I fell asleep. What are the subject in the adverb clause? I. What is the subject in the main clause? I. Okay, the two subjects are the same, so it is possible. So what do you get, everyone? What do you get from this adverb clause? What you get is, while sitting in class, I fell asleep. Okay, what about this one? While Anne was while Anne was sitting in class, she fell asleep. What are the subject, everyone?
And
this is the subject in the subclause. What is the subject in the main clause? She. Okay, different words, but they refer to the same person. She is Anne, and yeah, is replaced by pronoun she, referring to the same person. Okay, so what you do is you remove subject and to be. And when you remove Anne and was, who is she? She is actually Anne. So you change she with the proper name Anne. So what you get is, while sitting in class and fell asleep. Okay, are you following, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next. While the teacher was lecturing to the class, the students fell asleep. Is it possible to happen? Yes, it's possible to happen. But can we reduce this adverb clause to adverb phrase?
no.
No, why no, Rano?
Different subjects.
Okay, because the subjects are different. In the adverb clause, the subject is the teacher. In the main clause, the subject is the student. So is it correct sentence? Yes. Okay, but you can't change this adverb clause into adverb phrase because the subject is different. If you force yourself while lecturing to the class, the students fell asleep. For example, you remove this one. And your sentence, while lecturing to the class, the students fell asleep. Ketika memberi kuliah, mahasiswa tidur. Siapa yang memberi kuliah? Okay, so it will be different. So while the teacher was lecturing to the class, the students fell asleep. Okay, just keep the sentence as it is. Don't reduce it into phrase. Okay, next. While Anne was walking home, a dog chased. Is Anne the dog? No. Is the dog Anne? Of course, no. So Anne and dog are different things. Anne is human walking home. Dog chased her. So if you, for example, reduce this adverb clause into phrase, while walking home, a dog chased her. While walking home, a dog chased her. Ketika berjalan pulang, seekor anjing mengejarnya. Who is her? It's not so clear. Yeah. So actually, this adverb phrase is the subject itself. So that's why when while walking home, it means the dog walking home and chase her. Like that? Yeah, it's confusing. So to make it clear, just keep the sentence as it is. While Anne was walking home, a dog chased her. What does her refer to? Her refer to Anne. It's not the dog itself. Okay, everyone, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now let's continue to the next slide. What you do here, change the adverb clause into adverb phrase. Anyone can share the answer? Before I talk to you, I never understood the formula. Yeah. Gabriel again?
Before talking to you, I had never understood the formula.
Okay, before talking to you, I never understood the formula. That's correct. Okay, next. Everyone, number 2. Yes, anyone? Okay, is it confusing, everybody? Gabriel again?
Because wanting to spend any more money, Tom cooked the food himself.
Okay, Gabriel, once again.
Because didn't wanting to spend any more money, he cooked the food himself.
Okay, from your answer, you just remove Tom. And you change want into wanting. Is it your answer?
Because not wanting to spend any more money, he cooked the food himself.
Okay, Arman, I think Arman also has answer. Okay, Gabriel also has answer. Arman? Someone who wants to answer? Alexander, yeah, Alexander.
Because not wanting to spend any more money, Tom cooked the food himself.
Okay, yeah, almost similar with Gabriel, yeah. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. So, because this not didn't want everyone, because here didn't cannot be combined with ing, yeah. So because this is negative, you just take not in this case, yeah, not didn't, yeah, but you take not to indicate that it's negative. Because not wanting to spend any more money, then he is replaced by the proper name, Tom. Okay, thank you, Gabriel and Alexander. Next, number 3, anyone? Yes, Afitri.
After reading the chapter 3 times, I finally understood the story.
Okay, after reading, yeah, the chapter 3 times, I finally understood. Next. Yes, Naufal.
Since completing his bachelor's degree, Matt has had 3 jobs.
Yeah, thank you. Since completing his bachelor's degree, Matt has had 3 jobs. Excellent. Next. Everyone? Yes. Serpinta.
While traveling in foreign countries, I found new interesting cultures of different people living there.
Yes, while traveling, you just delete I and was. Okay, Triana, people living there. So anybody can explain why is it the different people living there? So living there is adjective phrase to modify people. What is the adjective clause from people living there? Naufal?
Who
Yeah, who? People who
are living there.
are living there. Okay, who are living there or people who live there. Okay, yeah. Interesting cultures of different people who live there. Yeah, it's much better. Yeah. Okay, everyone, that's about the discussion and exercise of reducing clause into phrase. Do you have any questions, everyone? Okay, I hope it's clear enough to you. And another topic for this meeting is different kinds of sentence. Yeah. So what is meant different kind of sentence here is not the sentence, for example, a question sentence, negative sentence, interrogative sentence, yeah, statement, no. But it's different kind of sentence based on the number and kind of clause. Yeah. So once again, remember we have discussed 2 kinds of clause, main clause and subclause. Okay, 2 kinds of clause, main clause and subclause. And the subclause is divided into 3. Yeah, the subclause is divided into 3. There are 3 subclauses. Number 1, can anyone mention it? Number 1, number 2, number 3? Number 1 is adjective clause. Number 2 is adverb clause. Number 3 is
Noun
noun clause. Okay. Now, in this different kind of sentences, we combine these clauses. Okay. We combine these clauses. There is a complete explanation from the video I shared in my first classroom, but let me explain in brief about these different kind of sentences based on the number and kind of clauses. Okay, kinds of sentences. The sentences is based on the number and kinds of clauses. Okay, from the number, it means how many clauses. Maybe one, maybe more than one. And kind of clauses. What kind? Whether these clauses main clause or main clause and main clause, or maybe main clause and subclause, or maybe main clause, subclause. Okay, so remember this one. Yeah, from the number, how many, and what kinds. So this kind of sentences, number one is simple sentence. Simple sentence. What is simple sentence? Yeah, as you learn in unit 1 or meeting 1, simple sentence is a sentence which has only one clause. How many clauses, everyone? Only one clause. What is it? Main clause. A simple sentence only has one clause. It means there is only one verb. Yeah. So what is it? Main clause. Only main clause. One main clause. That's simple sentence. Number 2 is compound sentence. Compound sentence. How many clauses are there in compound sentence? 2 clauses. Okay. What clauses are they? Main clauses. Yeah. Main clauses. 2 main clauses. And how to combine these 2 main clauses, anyone? Yeah. You may use, yeah, for example, yeah, let me make it simple. Make clause, comma, and, but, or, so, yet, another main clause. That is a simple way to make compound sentence. You make a clause, there is comma, there is coordinate conjunction, and, but, or, so, yet, another main clause. And this is compound sentence. Okay. Sometimes compound sentence, main clause, only semicolon, titik koma, ya, and main clause. It's also compound sentence. Yeah, not comma, but semicolon, titik koma. Okay. Sometimes main clause, semicolon, and then conjunctive adverb. For example, however, however, moreover, furthermore, and so on. Yeah, and then main clause. Yeah. Okay. For example, however, comma, main clause. This also compound sentence. Okay. So there are some ways how to make compound sentence. And let me explain another kinds. It is complex sentence. What is complex sentence? Complex sentence, how many clauses are there? Yeah, 2 or more clauses. 2 or more clauses. What clauses are there? 1 main clause and 1 or more subclause. Okay, everyone. In complex sentence, how many clauses are there? 2 clauses or more. And what are these clauses? 1 main clause and 1 or more subclause. Okay, so if you make a sentence containing adjective clause, it is complex sentence. If you make a sentence containing adverb clause or noun clause, it also complex sentence. And the subclause can be more than 1. Okay. And number 4, the last one, is combination of compound and complex. It is compound complex sentence. Compound complex sentence, how many clauses are there? Yeah, 2 or more clauses. How many main clauses? 2 main clauses. Yeah, 2 main clauses. How many subclause? 1 or more subclause. Okay, so that is the compound complex sentence. So if you make a compound sentence, and one of these main clause plus subclause, it becomes compound complex sentence. Yeah. Okay, subclause in the main clause. Yeah, maybe in the beginning or at the first one or the second one. Okay, so that is the different kinds of sentences based on the number, how many clauses and what kind of clauses. Yeah, maybe only 1 main clause, maybe 2 main clauses, maybe combination of main clause and subclause, and maybe 2 main clauses plus subclause. It becomes compound complex sentence. Yeah, in detailed explanation for this kind of sentence, please check the video. It tells you much about different kinds of sentences based on the number and kind of clauses. Okay. Is there any question, everybody? Yes, Naufal. Hello, Naufal.
Sir, sir, I'm sorry. Can I ask with bahasa Indonesia, sir? Because I don't know how to say it in English. Sir.
Okay, go on.
Mohon maaf, sir, saya mau nanya, sir. Tadi kemarin itu ada kuis sama exercise di CR di classroom. Tadi materi yang diujikan itu kita belum dapat, sir. Itu
What
apakah
meeting is it?
Gimana, sir?
What meeting is it? What meeting 2, I guess.
Iya, meeting 2.
Yeah.
Itu
meeting.
Apakah masuk ke penilaian ya, sir? Terima kasih.
Of course. Yeah, of course, the activity is part of the assessment. Okay, so for the meeting 2, the additional material is on adverb clause and noun clause. Okay, so let me explain in brief about these 2 clauses. Is it okay, everybody? Hello? Do you mind if I explain it in brief?
Sorry, sir.
Do you mind if I explain it in brief about these 2 clauses?
It's okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, let me find the material for the adverb clause and noun clause. Okay. Okay, wait a moment, everyone. Let me explain. Okay. The first one, let me explain the adverb clause. Let me share the material. So you can find the material on the classroom also. Okay. Okay, is it visible, everybody? Yeah, adverb clause. What is adverb clause? Adverb clause is a clause that functions like an adverb. Yeah, clause that is used as or works like an adverb. What is an adverb? Adverb is words to describe another adverb, to describe adjective, or to describe verb itself. So for example, the show will start as soon as the audience has been seated. Okay, so this is the adverb clause. The show will start. If you put full stop here, no problem, everyone. So it's a main clause. Okay, the show will start. Yeah. Okay, but when will it start? It will start as soon as the audience has been seated. So this subclause, this adverb clause to modify the verb start. What is the subject in the adverb clause? The audience. What is the predicate? Has been seated. And there is subordinate conjunction as soon as. Okay, that's number one. Number two, although he got a lot of serious problems, he was still happy, which is the adverb clause. Although he got a lot of serious problems. Yeah, and the main clause, he was still happy. What is the function here? To indicate the contradictory condition. He was happy, yeah, but in another side, he got a lot of serious problems. Yeah, so it's a contradictory condition, actually. Yeah, so happy, although he got a lot of serious problems. Okay, next, number three, the children were in the classroom when the earthquake shook the city, which is the main clause. The children were in the classroom. And what is the subclause, the adverb clause? When the earthquake shook the city, this is the subclause. And what is the connector? When? In the sentence number two, although is the subordinate conjunction or connector. Okay, so this is the adverb clause, everyone. There is main clause and adverb clause, and every adverb clause start with subordinate conjunction. For example, as soon as, although, when, in this example. All right, next, another thing you have to remember about adverb clause is that the order, yeah, the order of main clause and subclause. Number one and number three, the sentences start with main clause. The show will start. The children were in the classroom. And then main clause, after this main clause, after these two main clauses, the next part is the subclause. As soon as the audience has been seated, this is the adverb clause. And also, when the earthquake shook the city, is another adverb clause. And between these two main clause and subclause, the adverb clause, there is no comma. No comma. But if you pay attention, if you compare to sentence number two, this sentence starts with subclause, in this case with adverb clause, and Next is the main clause. That is comma. That is the order of the clauses in sentence containing adverb clause. When the main clause begin the sentence, then adverb clause, no comma is required. But when the sentence starts with the adverb clause, then main clause between the clauses, there is comma. Okay, that's about the punctuation. Next one, every adverb clause starts with subordinate conjunction. Yeah, and every subordinate conjunction has its own meaning. For example, it indicates time, place, manner, comparison, result, reason, contrast, condition. Okay, and these are the subordinate conjunction to begin the adverb clause. Yeah, to indicate time, you may use when, whenever, while, since, as, after, before, until, as soon as. Yeah, plus subject verb. Where, wherever, subject verb. Yeah, because it is sub clause. Yeah, adverb clause. As if, as though, then, as, so, that. Yeah, such, that. Yeah, because, as, since, for, so that, in order that. Yeah, to indicate contrast or concession, where, wherever, although, though, even though, and others. Yeah, condition if, whether, unless, provided that, and others. Okay. So these are once again subordinate conjunctions to begin the adverb clause. And the next slides, yeah, you can check the slides in my test classroom also actually. So these are the examples of sentences containing subclause indicating certain meaning, reason, cause, contrast, time, and so on. Okay, that's about adverb clause. Now let me explain in brief the last one, because it is also important and sometimes students misuse this one. That is noun clause. Noun clause is a clause that works like a noun. Ya, noun clause adalah clause yang fungsinya seperti kata benda. What is the function of noun? Apa fungsi kata benda? As subject or object. The story is interesting. For example, this is the subject. I know her house. Her house is object. And this subject or object can be replaced with noun clause. Yeah, because noun clause works like a noun as either subject or object. For example, you can replace the story with what he said. It's interesting. This is the subject and the story is subject. But the subject here has its own subject and predicate. So that's why it is clause, everyone. Okay. I know her house. I know where she lives. Where she lives is a noun clause. And it is the object of the predicate know. And this object has subject and verb. So that's why it is clause, noun clause. Okay, everyone, do you get it? Okay, good. Now, how to identify noun clause? Noun clause begin with some words, some group of words. The first group is question words. Who, whom, that, which, when, where, why, how, whose. And the second noun clause begin with the word whether or if. Next one with the word that. Okay, so once again, noun clause begin with first question word. Next one is whether, if, and that. Okay, so noun clause with question word. It is from question, everyone. Where does he live? What is your answer? Where does he live? Oh, she lives in Surabaya. Oh, she lives in Jalan blank, 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 number blank, blank, blank. Okay, information. when you change it into noun clause, what you get is, I don't know where she lives. Okay. So this is statement, and this is question. Yeah, from question to be statement in the form of noun. I don't know something. I don't know where she lives. It is from where does she live? What did he say? Anybody knows what he said? Who lives there? Do you know it? Oh, sorry, I don't know who lives there. Okay. Here, the pattern is the same, exactly the same. Why? Because who is also the subject of this noun clause. While here the subject is he, she is the subject. Who is at the door? I'm not sure. Who is at the door? Again, the same sentence, same clause. The difference is that it is asking subject, and who here is the connector as well as the subject, but it is not question anymore because it is statement. Who is she? I don't know who she is. Okay, what is the subject? Who or she? The subject is she, who is only connector of the noun clause. Who are those girls? I don't know who those girls are. What is the subject? Those girls, the subject. What is the function of who? As a connector. Okay, so try to differentiate this example with this example. Whose house is that? I wonder whose house that is. What did he say? What he said, surprising. Okay, so it's the same, what he said, what he said. But the last one is the subject, and this is the verb. Yeah, while here is the subject, verb, this one is object. Okay, everyone, is it clear to you? Okay, this is the first way to identify noun clause. The second one, noun clause may start with whether or if. It is from yes, no question. Yes, no question is a question which answer must be either yes or no. Yeah, if you change yes, no question to noun clause, then what you get, yeah, for example, from will she come to the party tonight? I don't know whether she will come to the party or not. Okay, you start with whether, and then from will she come become she will come. No question mark at the end because it now becomes statement. Next, you can replace whether with if. Okay, that's the first way. Does he need help? Does he need help? Yes, he does. Or no, he doesn't. That's the answer. Then you can make it into noun clause with some other ways, not only by using this one, yeah, but also you use whether or not at the end. You can replace whether with if and or not at the end. Or you may start the noun clause as the subject. Yeah, whether he needs help or not is not clear to me. For example, like that. Yeah, so this is the simple one, only using whether or if, or you may make it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways, no problem. Yeah. Okay, that's the second way, using whether or if. And number 3 is noun clause with that. It is from statement. Yeah, he is an excellent student. Are you sure about it? Yes, I am sure that he is an excellent student. Okay, so this is the noun clause. And it is start with that. Okay. And next one, you may remove that everybody thinks he is an excellent student, or I think he is an excellent student. Without that, no problem. Yeah, I think that he is an excellent student. Okay, that's okay. The other is around. Do you believe it? Oh yes, sir. I believe that the earth is round. Oh, I believe the earth is round. Okay. Computer is basic need for modern life. Do you agree? Sure, I agree that computer is basic need for modern life. English is world language. Yeah, I think English is world language. Okay, everyone. So that is about noun clause. And okay, like what I explained before here. Which one? This one. Okay, this one. Don't misuse or confuse yourself, everyone. Because in the adjective clause, you also use who, whom, which, that. Okay? Where, when. But adjective clause, adjective clause to modify noun, menjelaskan benda. Gitu ya. Kalau noun clause bukan menjelaskan benda, tapi fungsinya seperti kata benda, yaitu sebagai subjek atau objek. Nah, itu yang membedakan antara adjective clause dengan noun clause. Sekali lagi, kalau adjective clause menjelaskan benda, menggambarkan. Ya, kursi yang mana sih? Orang yang mana sih? Ya, oh, orang yang berbicara. Itu adjective clause. Tapi kalau noun clause, fungsinya sebagai subjek atau objek. Ya. Okay, so even though these words are used in other clauses, other subclauses, but don't confuse yourself. Okay, everyone. So, sorry, the last one I haven't said it to you. Hello, sorry. Hello, everyone.
Yes, sir.
So why are you silent? Hello.
I thought it was supposed to be like that.
I explained it to you, but I haven't said it to you. Last one is but noun clause. Hello, everyone. Now, can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God! Why do you silent? Oke. Ya, jadi ini ya, langsung saja singkat saja. Jadi noun clause itu menggantikan posisi noun, itu ya, atau berfungsi seperti noun sebagai subjek atau objek. Jadi ini the story bisa digantikan dengan what he said. I know her house sebagai objek her house. I know where she lives. Itu ya, ada subjek, ada verb. Ada subjek, ada verb. Inilah yang disebut dengan apa? Noun clause. Terlihat ya? Halo?
Yes, sir.
Sebentar, ini waktunya sudah mau habis ya, sudah habis sebenarnya. Jadi ini saya ulang lagi. Jadi yang terakhir ini saja. Jadi noun clause itu diawali dengan pertama question word. Ya, bisa who, which, that, whose, dan sebagainya ini. Yang kedua whether atau if. Yang ketiga adalah that. Nah, saya katakan di akhir tadi sebelum saya menyadari belum sharing screen ini, beberapa kata ini dipakai di adjective clause juga. Ya kan? Ya. Tapi jangan bingung. Who, whom, which, when, where, that pada adjective clause itu menjelaskan benda. Gitu ya. Kalau pada adjective clause ini, dia fungsinya sebagai subjek atau objek. Bukan menjelaskan benda. Tapi noun clause itu bendanya itu sendiri. Gitu ya. Nah, ini yang saya contohkan yang belum di-share-kan tadi. Oke, ya. Jadi dari pertanyaan menjadi statement. Nah, oke, ini yang pakai if atau whether. Ini berasal dari yes no question. Ya. Kemudian yang ketiga ini that, ini berasal dari statement. Oke. That boleh disebutkan, boleh tidak. Oke, mohon maaf saya belum share ini. Tadi yang adverb clause belum share juga. Jangan-jangan. Sudah ya. Oke, sudah yang non plus. Oke, baik, itu tentang non plus tense. Once again, mudah-mudahan yang sedikit ini yang mepet waktunya bisa difahami. And everyone, please, what I give you in my classroom is not the only material you get. Ya, silahkan akses materi yang lain yang Anda punya, yang Anda bisa akses, ya, untuk memahami apa yang kita bahas. Ya, oke, ada yang ditanyakan yang lain?
Sorry, sir. How about the presence class today?
Attendance code, jangan sudah habis. Ini yang hadir berapa ini? 40 ya. Yang tidak hadir berapa?
Gimana, sir?
Oke, sebentar. Saya setkan. Saya baca kok. Saya belum share. Kelas 11. Nah, tunggu sebentar ya. Terlalu asik membahas, jadi lupa share presentasi. Oke, sebentar. Biar kalian bisa presensi online. Saya setkan dulu. Oke. Oke. Oke, silakan. Code-nya ada di chat room dan Anda masih bisa untuk register online, ya. Waktunya saya perpanjang, ini masih 3 menit. Silakan segera untuk presensi supaya hadirnya terrecord online, terrecord di kelas. Oke.
Sorry, Mister. On mine, the code cannot work.
Oh, tidak bisa ya, sebentar. Ya. Masih sama itu, code-nya sama, 451646.
Sorry, sir. Ini waktunya udah lewat batas.
Lewat, oke. Saya andai hadir semua kalau gitu. Oke, sudah. Bentar, ini yang tidak hadir siapa ya? Safitri ada, Safitri.
Hadir.
Hadir. Angela Anugrah ada? Angela Anugrah? Angela Anugrah nggak ada ya? Sarla Intan ada? Sarla? Oke, Fatimah Zahra? Fatimah Zahra? Nggak ada. Novia Eka?
Hadir, Sir.
Oke. Aurelia?
Hadir, Sir.
Ayesha?
Hadir, Sir.
Surya Wicaksana?
Hadir, Sir.
Zanuba Nailul?
Hadir, Sir.
Aziza?
Hadir, Sir.
Sawitri tadi sudah hadir ya, Sawitri. Muhammad Faik?
Hadir, Sir.
Ivan? Sivan Agustinus?
Hadir, Sir.
Oke, thank you. Aisyah Mutia?
Hadir, Sir.
Bernadetta? Oke, Wadatul?
Hadir, Sir.
Alexander, tadi ada. Sandika Surya?
Hadir, Sir.
Paradia, tadi ada. Dana Radia?
Hadir, Sir.
Danar hadir. Belum mengisi screening. Alvan?
Hadir, Sir.
Arman?
Hadir, Sir.
Enggak ya. Yul Montanus?
Hadir, Sir.
Oke. Mayaldi?
Hadir, Sir.
Ahmad Nadil? Oh, ini FRS belum. Muhammad Naufal tadi hadir. Abdullah Nasih?
Hadir, Sir.
Oke. Gilang? Gilang
Sir.
Alif? Oke. Nadif? FRS belum disetujui. Gabriel tadi ada. Aulia Mei? FRS belum. Sakif ada. Victor?
Hadir, Sir.
Muhammad Rafi?
Hadir, Sir.
Oke. Azhar Abiyu?
Hadir, Pak.
Oke. Rano ada. Gracelia ada. Layinatul?
Hadir, Sir.
Oke. Tarik tadi ada ya. Tarik?
Sir.
Muhammad Naufal ada. Ihsan tadi ada. Najma ada. Ahmad Rafif?
Hadir, Sir.
Ya, Mordecai tadi juga ada. Okay, thank you everyone for joining this class. Oke, ini sudah lewati batas ini ya. Berarti nanti kalian ada kelas lagi jam 9. Okay, everyone. So I hope everyone is in very good condition. Don't forget to stay safe and healthy with people around you. Let me end this session. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.